Good morning, students. So today we are going to start the last chapter of our syllabus, that is 10.4 World Trade Organization. It is one of the small chapter but the important one. Definitely you will get the 3-mark question in your paper or whether 1-mark question in your exam. World Trade Organization, usually known by the word WTO. World Trade Organization is established to promote multilateral trade of goods and services. WTO is new globally recognized organization with a new name succeeding that having a new vision and more power to promote international trade. As it is sounds to us that World Trade Organization, world, something that is an organization which is concerned or connected with the world. And it is not restricted to one country and it is attached with world, means so many countries, it is related to the international scale. So no doubt, and it is the organization which just supervise and maintain the rules for the trade activities. So that's why it is World Trade Organization. So World Trade Organization is the organization that is recognized for for doing the activities related to the trade. And which kind of trade? International trade. See what the author has given about it. World Trade Organization was formed to promote free trade among its member nations. Who are the members? By reading this line you get who are the members of World Trade Organization? The people or the countries? Very good. The countries are the members of this organization, not a particular person. Persons will not be the member. The countries will be the member of WTO and they just participated. Those countries participated. No doubt countries will not go there. Their representative will go there to attend the meetings and take the decisions and all. But all those who are just there, they are only the representative of a particular country. So countries are the members of World Trade Organization. And what is the main objective of World Trade Organization? In the second line, it is given to promote the multilateral trade, means the trade among various nations, not only related to goods as well as services, by eliminating the tariff and non-tariff barriers. You know very well, there was in 1991 new economic policies just come into existence. At that time, the policy of the liberalization was there as well. The policy of the liberalization, in which so many tariff rules and non-tariff rules and barrier has been installed, and World Trade Organization eliminate all those tariff and non-tariff barriers. Eliminating the tariff barriers means removing the duties, and eliminating the non-tariff barriers means the removing import quota, quantitative restriction, import licensing, etc. In the 8th round of General Agreement of Tariff and Trade, that is popularly known as GATT. GATT means, the full form of GATT is, anybody can tell me? Journal? Yes, General Agreement on Tariff and Trades. Whatever the General Agreement has been done in that, it is a short form, and WTO was formed and in 1995 and it took over the GATT. At the time of establishment of the WTO, had member its 24 nations. Earlier it was, when it is established in 1995, how many countries were the member? It's 124. But if we talk about May 2009, its member increased to 153 nations. And presently another 30 countries are in the process of getting the membership of WTO. India is one of the founder member of WTO. Some areas like trade in services, promoting foreign investment, protecting patent, dispute settlement, trade in textile and clothing were given special emphasis in WTO. The developing countries will benefit from increased exports and foreign investment, technical assistance, etc., which will help to promote their economic development. WTO is an international trade organization having set the rules and principles mutually designed. Mutually means all together they discuss it and then decide. To promote the international trade in general and reduction on the tariff barrier and removal of import restriction in a particular. So please underline this point because it is a complete meaning of WTO, that what the WTO works and what is WTO. The last line is such an appropriate answer for the 1 mark question. If you get the question, what is WTO and why the WTO has been established, you will get the both of the answer in one statement. Now the features of WTO. If we talk about the features, it's an international organization. For which purpose it has been designed? To promote the multilateral trades. It is has replaced GATT. It replaced the GATT. It promotes free trade, removing the tariff and non-tariff barrier in international trade. It has fixed set of rules and regulation. It has legal status. Its rules and regulation are mutually designed and agreed upon the members nation. Agreements agreed by members country are binding on all the members of WTO, and if any member does not follow such agreement, then its complaint can be logged with the dispute settlement body of the WTO. So it is all about the features of WTO. What trade organization and its features we have done. If you have any doubt up to this, please ask. Otherwise, we will move further. Nobody have any doubt? The students who are sitting online, if you have any doubt, please raise your hand. Yes, Karun. It has fixed rules and regulation and it has legal status. By law, it is an artificial body. Law has given a status. Whenever law gives a legal status to any organization, it means that organization will known as an artificial person. Any person or other company or an organization can sue that organization, and that organization can also file a case against the other person or organization. That is the legal status. The next features are, it includes the trade in goods and services, promotion of intellectual property rights. Unlike the International Monetary Fund means IMF, that is also an organization. World Bank is an organization. WTO is not an agent of United Nations. WTO is not an agent of United Nations. Next is WTO has a large secretariat and huge organization setup. I request everybody, when you get back to your home, please search at Google or YouTube about the WTO, that is a World Trade Organization, how it's settled, who are the members, who are the secretariat of WTO. You might have the question, who is the chairperson of or the directorate of secretariat of WTO in the paper as well. Now, objectives of WTO. Again and again, we are just discussing that WTO just do the agreements related to the international trade, maintain the formulate the policies as well. Tariff and non-tariff activities are to be restricted by them, all these things. Let's how the author defined it. The following are the objectives of the WTO. The first one, to implement the new World Trade Agreement, to promote the multilateral trade, that is trade among many nations, to promote free trade by abolishing the tariff and non-tariff barrier, to promote world trade in manner that benefit every member of the country, to ensure that developing country get a better share in advantage resulting from the expansion of international trade corresponding to their development needs. And it also remove all the hurdle in the way of the open trading system and use of the trade as an effective instrument to boost the economic growth. Boost means to develop, to encourage, to enhance competitiveness among all the trading partners to benefit the consumers. No doubt, when so many other countries just have the business agreements all together, what finally benefit give to the people who are the customers? To increase the level of production and productivity with a view to increase the level of employment in the world, to expand and utilize the world resources in the most optimum manner, to improve the standard of living of the global population and speed up the economic development of members nations, to take the special step for the development of the poorest nations. So these all are the objectives of WTO. Usually the students get confused between the objectives and functions. So I humbly request to everybody read it thoroughly, study so intensively, and don't get confused between the objectives of the WTO and functions of the WTO. The functions means what is the working, what it's doing. It's laying down the code of conduct aiming at reducing tariff and non-tariff. Code of conduct means the procedure, the rules that is to be followed. So it aim at that the tariff and non-tariff barrier in international trade, there should be a code of conduct should be there. It is lying down by the WTO. Implementing, what it's implement? The WTO agreements and administrating the international trade. Cooperating with IMF, yes, IMF is also international organization, World Bank is also, and its associates as well, to establish the coordination in global trade policy making, to make the global trade policies. Global trade policies means globe is related to world. Whatever the policies that are maintained for the world, that are known as the global policies. So World Trade Organization just coordinate between all these global trade policies that they made. Who made? IMF, World Bank made so many policies, and it is to be coordinated by WTO. Settling the trade related disputes among the members of the nation with the help of its dispute settlement body, that is DSB. You might be have the one mark question, what is the full form of DSB? So don't forget at that time that we have listened it first time. No. Next, providing the technical assistance and guidance related to management of foreign trade and fiscal policy of the member nation, as well as it's also acting as a forum for the trade liberalization. Liberalization means when the rules become liberal, easygoing, then it is known as liberalization. So all these are functions done by the WTO. Let's recall what we have done today. We have done chapter number 10.4, that is World Trade Organization, in which we have done the meaning, features, objectives, and functions of World Trade Organization. One of the function has been left over there, that is reviewing a trade-related economic policy of the member country with the help its trade policy review body. There is a they have a department or a part in the organization which is known as the TPRB, Trade Policy Review Body. Whatever the trade policies are to be maintained, those are reviewed and checked whether the policies are appropriate or not by the part of organization that is known as Trade Policy Review Body. Why they do this? They do this because they just want to review the trade related economic policy of the member countries. Whosoever are the member countries, what is the trade policies maintained by them? It is reviewed by the by a body that is a part of the World Trade Organization. And it's also provide the technical assistance and guidance related to the management of foreign trade and fiscal policy to its member nation. And also are the nation who are the member of WTO, they provide them the information about all the technical as well as all the guidance related to the management of the foreign trade, like how the foreign trade is to be managed. Because if you remember in our previous chapters, we know that there are so much appropriate methods, procedures that are to be followed. There are so many necessary and the compulsory documents that are to be registered as well as prepared for the international trade. Without fulfilling all those formalities, without following all those procedures, or without taking all those steps, none of the country can do the international trade. International trade is just quite different from the internal trade or the local trade that you are doing in your own country. You have to follow an appropriate procedure that is defined by law, that is defined by customs, that is defined by the global organization. Every country has to follow those rules, those system as well, if any of the countries just want to do the international business. I just want to show you some flow charts. I usually say that prepare the flow charts. In this, first is the import trade is given, and its procedure and main documents are to be used, and it is given in only in the latest book. You may have the Xerox copies of that, or you may note it down by self, then it will be more beneficial for you. Export trade procedure and documents used in it's also prepared there. Then meaning, features, functions, a mind map is there, which includes all the things all together about WTO. These are the mind maps that are very much useful for the instant learning. All you have to prepare the mind map of every chapter, every topic, while having the revision, as by tomorrow we are going to start the revision. It is all about for the day. If you have any doubt, please ask.